Fernando. And what would the class like to learn?
I think, my expectation is to hear you, because I had so much fun the last few days. Not only when we met online in the NTC, but also following your string of emails, the welcome email series for Gaia. I'm enjoying that a lot.
Thank you.
Think if you tell us in your way about your tool and the magical things we can do with it, I think everybody will enjoy it.
That's amazing. And how about one or two expectations from the class, from the public? Anyone? Silence. Silencio. All right, let me start. Thank you, Fernando, for the kind words about the email. It was, it took a while to put it together. Okay, what is Gaia? Gaia is a search engine and a biodiversity data eShop. So, I try to simplify work of ecologists, landscape architects, biologists, and people who are working in compliance. And one problem is that data is scattered. It exists in thousands of databases and research projects. And so what we want to do is we want to centralize data into one place, and we want to offer it for download. So, Gaia restarts itself after a while. But I can show you, for example, I have done here a search of monarch butterfly, and these are the yellow dots. We are in Florida, and the blue dots are, for example, the stuff it pollinates. So Gaia centralizes observations data, but it also centralizes relationships among species. So when you guys, biologists and ecologists, go into the field and you study the stuff you study, Gaia will crawl through academic papers and fetch the relationships that you guys are studying. So let's do a search from the very beginning. Anyone who has a favorite animal, give me a favorite animal in the class.
Kiwi.
Kiwi. Let's go to New Zealand. So first thing, you must know where the organism lives. Gaia is powered by an AI search, which understands English and German really well, but it understands Spanish fairly good. So if you type in Kiwi bird, we should be able to get some data. Now, Gaia does not manufacture data, it collects data. So just because you expect the kiwi bird in New Zealand, that does not mean it will show up on the map. The data must be created by people who are using apps or creating research studies. So let's try to search for kiwi bird. I will start a new instance right here, and we will give another student. What else would you like to see?
Spanish imperial eagle.
Yes. Now, that's a mighty creature. In southern Spain, if I remember correctly.
Very well.
Águila imperial ibérica. Does that make sense?
Yes, it's perfect.
Is it one L or double L?
It's with the G. It's G instead of Q.
Yeah, it's not Italian, right?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, let's go for two last years worth of Águila imperial ibérica. Look at those kiwis, mate. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Ocarito brown kiwi.
Ocarito
So there are lots of pictures from amateurs. We try to put together, different stages of the organism: juvenile stage, adult stage. If we know it's a female or a male, we write it here in the subtitles. So pay attention to the subtitles. Sometimes it's known, right? So like you are in the field, you create a lot of data, you create a lot of images, but it's scattered across publications and internet. And I try to put it all together. That's what Gaia is about. Here is a quick link to Wiki so that you can read on the Kiwi. Um, and here you can download data. So Gaia is a search engine, but it's also an e-shop for data. So I, for example, wrote. Where do I have search phrase here? I wrote in Gaia kiwi bird, right? That was my search. That was my search phrase. And suddenly I can see, the GPS coordinates. I can see who created that data point. That's the biologists like yourselves. And what, database have they used? In this case, a German NABU and well-known naturals, right? So that's that. And look at that, how much Aquila Imperial Imperica we have found. So let's go to the very south. Note that I searched in Spanish, but I get labels in English. And that's because my user profile, I can show you here in the side panel, you have the menu. If I go to my own name and I go to my own name again, I can set here the language with which the labels will come out. And we support Arabic, Chinese, Germanic languages, Japanese, Korean, Thai. So we can support 30 languages. So Gaia understands the eukaryotic tree of life and its hierarchies. You can type in animal, or you can type in birds, or you can type in birds of prey, or you can type in Aguila Imperial Iberica, and Gaia will figure it out what you want. It's pretty cool, eh?
Can you write relationships in the search box?
The relationships are here. So you select the relationships of the eagle in this case.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we can do that. Now it's an apex predator, so it will have lots of stuff it preys upon by or eats. But let's try to see what is, what preys on the eagle. So what I will do is I will just do 1 month worth of data here, or 1 quarter worth of data here, and I will rerun this search together with relationships. So relationships, what are we talking about? We're talking about the collection of knowledge from academic papers that have been created by people like yourselves. Jesus, mother. You have to pardon my mom. So I'll kill up signal and put myself on focus mode. Sorry. All right. We have not found anything which preys on the eagle, but let's see what it is eaten by. So, prey upon by, that presumes the act of killing, but eaten by, that can be a parasite. It can be, once the eagle drops dead. So let's see what we find there on the eaten by.
Cool.
There are 40 relationship types. Vector of, host of, co-roots with, coexists with, interacts with. So there are lots of relationship types, and we are including only the 6 most known to a common man, so that we do not overload people with the options. But here, if you'd like to get all of the relationships, I recommend you to use co-occurs with, because that takes in all types of interactions into account. Okay, while this searches, let me do something on the Kiwi. Let's see what happens. I have limited server power, so sometimes we have to wait. And in the meantime, while it searches, how about you guys take out your phones or laptops and you go to Gaia.eco and create yourself an account? Can we do that?
Yep, we are on it.
We are on it. So Gaia.eco, and here you can sign up and browse nature. Create yourself an account. You start on a free plan. Everybody starts on a free plan in the beginning. Yeah. So let's see if there is. Red dots. Amazing. Red dots means that this thing eats the Aguila-itea iberica. In this case, it's the common raven, and it eats it while it's dead, right? It does not the raven does not prey on the eagle, but if an eagle happens to drop dead, the raven will eat it up. Does it make sense?
It's undistinguishable from magic.
Okay. Pay attention. Here in the data, you have now source, target, and relations. Let's take a look at the target. Target is the animal or organism on the other side of the relationship. So we have eagle, that's the source, and then we have target. In this case, that's the raven. And we see the Latin name, Corvus corax, right? And here you can see Spanish imperial eagle is eaten by, Corvus corax. So it all comes in here as a target. Here are relationships. So let's give it some time. And here you have, this is my love to you, biologists and ecologists in the field that are studying nature, because at some point you publish a paper, and that paper has a DOI number, and Gaia picks it up, and then it leads you to the original paper. And you take up with Luigi Majorano and Gentile Francesco the fact whether raven eats eagle once it drops dead, right? It's not me saying that; it's you who are saying that.
Come
right?
on.
So here you have the academic papers, and there are all of these species that are eating the eagle when it drops dead. So it's the red snake, some other snake. I don't know what desert monitor is. It sounds crazy. Verasnus griseus. It doesn't sound like the translation is right. Let's take a look at what it is. Okay, this thing eats an eagle once it drops dead. And this is how you can work with Gaia. So you can put nature in its relationships. Here's a crazy thing. You can type in birds of prey being preyed upon by, and then you can do many analytics, right? It's not one to many, but it's many to many. You can get all of the birds of prey and take a look at all of the organisms that are in all of the birds of prey. And Fernando is or let's go. So the options are limited. Before I go on,
Question so far. Pásale el micro. Así, dáselo al de atrás y que lo mueva. Mike is on its way. Está encendido. Mira a ver si tiene la lucecita verde. Déjalo pulsado 2 segundos.
And bring us an amazing tool. I have two questions. Okay, I was wondering what are the difference between Gaia and another kind of application like GGIF or maybe iNaturalist.
Fantastic.
What are the advantage? And the second question is, maybe you already mentioned, but I didn't, and I didn't understand. Like, is it only based in papers, or have another kind of observation, like scientific, like citizen data, or not?
Citizen science.
Great.
Yeah, citizen science.
And what was your name again?
Begoña.
Bewonya, thank you for the question. So iNaturalist has observations data only, and sometimes that observations data come with images, and sometimes, most of the times, don't. Um, in iNaturalist, there are 250 million data points, and 100 million data points, give or take, are in their so-called research grade dataset. Now, take a look at here. This common raven has been reported by this user, Wooden, into iNaturalist. And because it has ended up in Gaia, it means it has been triple validated by other biologists that are, reviewing that observation, whether it could have been possibly true. So Gaia reads only research grade data set, and that means it has been triple validated. So Gaia reads 100 million data points from iNaturalist. If that species has been present in that place where you're searching in that time. GABIF has 3.1 billion data points, and Gaia accesses this data through GABIF. So what Gaia technically is in terms of observations, it's way better user interface than GABIF offers for GABIF data. And because GABIF reads iNaturalist research grade, Gaia reads it too. And because GABIF is open and will be open and updates itself, Gaia updates itself as well. The added value of Gaia is in its AI search and enhancement of data. GABIF is in Latin. Okay? Everything is in Latin in GABIF. They do have 12 languages which they support on colloquial basis, but that presumes you know the colloquial name, the common name. Gaia is built way different than GABIF. We have support for 30 languages and not 12. And we can do stuff like this. Check this out. Let me go to the smallest word in the world. All right. Now that's something to let me do a 2 years worth of data. No, that's too much. We would maybe here for a long time. Let's do last quarter. Voice. Let's reload. Try again. I think one session lasts max 10 minutes. So we are running as a startup server power. So let's do one more thing. Smallest word in the world. And let's do water. Smallest river. So it's a free text search which interprets your input, maps it to your periodic tree of life, and helps the user who is not a professional biologist or ecologist to actually navigate after the data. Oh, there's only one point, but it is the bee hummingbird. I think it has only 2 grams. A bee has 1 gram. Imagine how small a bird this is. And I think the eggs of the organism are big as coffee beans. So this is the bee hummingbird, the smallest bird in the world. Right? You cannot do that with Gaia. You can write in Spanish. I don't know how it is. I don't know how it is in Spanish to write the smallest bird in the world, but you can do that in Spanish, in French, in English, in Latin, whatever. So it's a free text search. It's quite powerful. And again, you can download data, right? Gaia adds and adds and adds and adds. So let me solve this schizophrenia with dates, which is quite funny. Let's reload. And you can thus make a search such as, I want to see whales in the Atlantic, and then I want to see birds in the Caribbean, and then I want to see turtles, so that you can study phenomenon across space and time and across species, and you create yourself one big data set which you then export for your study. And you can do that together with the latest. If you have the Pro license, you can search pretty much across the whole world. I have the Pro license. Let me search for whales. You have marine life as well, right? There are 3 magical words which you can type into Gaia: animals, plants, and fungi. Right? Then you collect all of this like just 3 keywords. And yeah, it's up to your imagination what you do. When you're loading data, first comes the data point from get, unenriched. So you get this very simple bubble, right? But the search keeps going on because it now tries to translate everything from Latin to whatever language you're using, and then it will give you images. So the loading takes place in several steps. Just have patience. Okay, more questions. That was a good question on differentiation with Gaia and iNaturalist.
Hi, Dave. Thank you for your speech. So you said we can download data. So I was wondering if, for example, I would like to train an AI algorithm with images. Can I download, for example, 500 images from the same species and use them in the algorithm?
Yeah. Yes and no. We have right now limit on 32 images, but if you would like to have some experiment with Gaia, we could create on a service basis a version for you where you get 500 images or 1,000 images. I'll show you how it looks like when Gaia actually does download the data into Excel. So here's this magical button, download, and it will give you links. So this is how the data download looks like. And here I can see the links and sources to the images. Let me zoom in into this mess so that you can see better. So we can prepare a version of Gaia for you where you get 500 of these links, and it can be done. But yeah, it will be on a service basis, consultant service basis. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
More questions?
Hi, David.
Hi.
I have a question that is maybe a little bit strange, but how much does it cost to maintain a website like this, or like approximately?
So Gaia cost me 400,000 euro to build. We were 24 employees. It involved Google Impact Startup Partnership. It involved Nature Tech Collective Partnership. If you'd like to build it yourself and you knew what you were doing, yeah, 600,000 euro at least. how much does it cost to maintain? Some 6,000 euro a year in this form.
Wow. Okay. Thank you.
So that's a lot of sacrifice for you lot to do your work well.
Yeah. I imagine.
No,
Okay,
but
thank you.
you know, I do it for love for nature. I'm a data scientist, so this is the way how I can reward the community. Let me show you how the service plans look like. So here you can take a look at in the menu at your license type, and you can take a look at your settings for language. You know, plans. Everybody starts on a free plan who has just created an account, 10 searches a week. Then you can get yourself a day pass for unlimited search, relatively unlimited search, and much larger search area. Big pass comes with way larger search area. So, for example, 1 million kilometers squared is like Spain and France together. 2 million is, you know, pretty much Western Europe. 20 million will cover Europe or Northern America. And then with the pro subscription, you can basically search 1/3 of the Earth's surface on one go, and you have the data.
And it
For
makes you a
academics, sorry?
No, I just read the make you a sandwich.
Say again?
I just read the make you a sandwich option that is not checked.
Yeah, it's not checked, and we can't make your grandma eat vegan either. So there comes a lot of jokes. You know, it's data scientist humor. So
And David, do you know some paper that have used this already?
look, Gaia is brand new. We are we are showing this to mostly people in consulting. We are showing this to National History Museum in London tomorrow. We have had there's another university in Barcelona which we have had partnership with, but I don't think scientists have downloaded data from Gaia yet. And I would love to have partnership with you guys. Whatever is your field of biology, I would love to support it.
Okay, thank you.
All right, more questions.
Hi, hello.
Hello.
Are you able to search for extinct species?
Yes, you can. So Gaia understands the whole eukaryotic tree of life, even those that were extinct. You can go back in the past, right? If you select specific dates, and then you're going to meddle with, I don't know, 1850, right? And you know that species went extinct in 1970s, right? I don't know what you were thinking, but like you can set yourself back in time and collect that species data, and Gaia will look for images as well. So if those observations are in GABIF of those species that went extinct, they should still be there, right? So it should be possible. I have not done the tests. If you do run the tests, please let me know. I would love to see the results.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Let me show you a couple of more things. Gaia is working on Android exactly the way it works on desktop. The interface is simpler. So this is how Gaia will look like on your phone if you have Android. We don't support iOS just yet. And you know, you can locate yourself. So this is where I am. And you know, let me search for blueberries. Let's find some blueberries in the city. Blåbär. Let's take a look at last year of data. So that you can navigate yourself in the field to the observations of the past, right? So I'm here. The blueberry nearest to me is right there, right? They call it bilberry, actually, it's true. And then you can navigate yourself. Okay, I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go there, and then I'm gonna, take this path to my blueberry, and I know it's 2.36 kilometers. Do you like the show?
It's fun.
By the way, there is quite an interesting term you can write into Gaia: magic mushrooms.
Magic mushroom.
You will get a whole bunch of psilobes. But because of war on drugs, Europe has been recently cleared out of access to psilobe data, but in the United States and Australia it still works. But yeah, okay, more questions.
Hi, David.
Hello.
Hello. I wanted to ask, since you said you have been working with the Tree of Life, how have you dealt with redundant common names to get to one single species if you have found any problems? And
Excellent.
also a question like, did you have some biologists in your developing group, and which kind of careers did they have to go there with you?
Yeah. So the algorithm for translations took us 6 months to develop, and it's not perfect. And I think it works well only in German and English. The improvements can be still made, particularly with French, Spanish, Polish, and more. We have multiple colloquial names for one species, depending on where you are in the world. With Spanish, it's a disaster because Spaniards have colonized so many different areas, and Argentinians call the same stuff different than Spanish do. So I would like to say that the problem remains unsolved. However, the algorithm works in 90% of the time for most languages, but it still needs improvement. Have I had ecologists? Yes and no. I love nature. I'm interested in mushrooms, so I have a high understanding of mycology. The other guy who was the developer, he has forest ecology background. His name is David Schlindenbuch. But look, this is a data scientific problem we are looking at, not biological problem we are looking at. Let me give you a parallel. In the Second World War, when Brits were recruiting people to, crack Enigma, they thought you would have to have German as understanding for, decryption of German messages in Enigma, and yet it was a computer scientist who understood cryptography and mathematics who cracked Enigma. Sometimes we think we need a domain of knowledge to solve a problem, but you actually need a whole different domain of knowledge to solve a problem. So Gaia is a purely data scientific problem, and it's about connecting data, verifying data, steering data, and whoever wants to work with me can be a really good data scientist and programmer.
Okay, thank you.
That's a fun image. All right.
Hello. I was looking to the web of Gaia, and I'm curious about the blue-green design and how you work about it. I think is the green structure, green architecture. Yes.
Good. So we will actually get EU funding. It looks like for next year to implement this concept in Finland and probably in Leipzig as well. The idea is to take a look at declining populations of critical insects to start with in cities. We want to see on the data how these individuals or populations are doing. If they're declining, we want to use the relationships to select plants to support these populations of declining insects. And the next step in analyzing the plants is to get the curve of the nectar flow when they are blooming, so that the pollinators have an equal supply of nectar and then can support themselves. And if we help pollinators, then we help birds and fish, which is nice. And if we help birds and fish, some other stuff comes in. So the idea is to create network effects through relationships. That's the vision behind Gaia and the green facades and green rooftops. Thank you for the question.
Thank you for answering. So interesting. And below, you have the option to become a partner. What is that about?
Sorry, I did not hear the question.
What is that about, become a partner?
That's for the B2B consultants, but I would love researchers to be partners as well. We had questions on extinct species. You are interested in the green roofs and facades. Become a partner. You will be a researcher that will actually use Gaia for creating domain knowledge. And we have Discord to distribute knowledge from the community. I will show you one more thing, which comes with Gaia. So here in the menu, I see now we are running at full server capacity. Good, I guess you're in. We like to see full server capacity. But if you open up the menu, there will be a link to Discord. The same here on the mobile web, on the web page. You will be able to join Discord. And Discord is like Teams in Slack. And what do I have here? So here I have channels for nerds. So we call it fandom, right? And I don't know if Fernando is a nerd into plants, but here he can find the trees related fandom or herbs related fandom. And he can see whoever posted herbs from Gaia, or, let's start a conversation going. We had a question on extinct species. Please do take a screenshot, post it here. This is for the community to find each other, find friends who are nerds. If they're nerds into vertebrates and they just enjoy sharks, let's allow these people to meet around sharks community. And one more thing about partnership. Perhaps you're really good at something. Perhaps it's ecology. Perhaps it's forest ecology, marine ecology. So for the partners, I allow to show their pitch. I'll show you how a pitch looks like. And then the whole community who comes here for answering frequently asked questions, such as where does the data come from? How do we manipulate the data? We have written everything on this, right? How you can make conclusions from the data. What is conclusive, what is not? How do we manipulate and clear the data compared to GAVIF? So all of these questions asked, well, not all of them, but some of them, they are already answered. The community will find its way to Discord eventually. And when they do, perhaps they discover a really good forest ecologist on tropics called Fernando and his class, and they'll be able to show their pitch and how they work. And by the way, if you need more data from the field, give Fernando a call and he will use data for you and make a paper and so on. The same thing about products. If you're making hardware, for example, something for DNA or something for, bioacoustics, I want to list all of the partners' products. So if you become a partner, you end up here. And I can show you how a pitch looks like really quick. So, for example, this is how a simple pitch looks like. For landscape architects, right? In region, Europe, Americas, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, you sign up, you read about us. In this case, this will be your products link or your landing page, Fernando. And then, you click our public relations on demand help landscape architects who want to design green roof facades and landscapes by collecting skilled relationships and saving time for selecting plants. And this is a pitch. If you like it, you just go to the landing page or write that person and ask for their service, research, or product. And the way how people will find it, that these pitches will be here in Discord. And yeah, in the meantime, chat about that. Have fun.
Okay.
I love it.
Thank you. I will look into it.
Yeah, welcome everybody into Discord.
Any more questions?
Okay, let's take a look at some psychedelics. There you go.
Psychedelics.
From the good old times where you could have still looked for magic mushrooms in Europe. This is how it looked like. All right. More
Awesome. No more questions?
No more questions.
think
I want to say, has everybody signed up for Gaia in the class? Hands up who hasn't.
Can you repeat, please?
¿Quién no se ha apuntado todavía? I will make sure that everybody is signing up.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
And then maybe David, we can do something for my newsletter too, like a written demo. I will try to write something up. And
Yeah. If you have anything, send it over. I would be happy to comment. I would be happy to support your community, both of the researchers and of the students.
Wonderful. This was super fun. I knew it was gonna be mind-blowing. So thank you. Also, thank you for the patience with our technological hiccups today.
Shit happens.
It had to happen. And yeah, we will keep in touch.
Let's keep in touch. Have fun studying. You are studying a wonderful field. I wish I had the opportunity to spend in nature as much time as you do. For me, it's mostly code, but we help each other out. Yeah?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Have a nice afternoon.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Un aplausillo para el chaval, ¿no?
Yo no me entiendo. El Discord ese es como